Hello, today's vlog is from the garden. I'm going to talk about something I'm very passionate about. It is the outright ban on tenant fees for letting agents. I have been in the industry a very long time, as most of you will know. I have worked very hard to try and get the industry regulated, as have our FARLA Property Mark, and we are campaigning constantly for this. We want the agents who run lettings to be regulated, mainly because we have 160 pieces of legislation that we have to learn. We have to know it. We have to know it by heart. We have to do training, we have to do exams, we have to understand what the law is, and it changes constantly. I every day learn something new about lettings, and I've been doing it longer than most people I know. So how do we expect those youngsters that just come into it to understand what the legislation is? We have to train them. This costs money. We can go back to the days when letting agents just worked for the landlords. They just got a fee from the landlords. They didn't really care about the tenants. They didn't care if somebody had pets or children or wanted changes to a tenancy agreement or wanted a break clause, or maybe they got signed up into a tenancy and then needed to be released from that tenancy because something else had happened. A million things happen for tenants where we work for them. A regulated agent will work for the tenant as well as the landlord. I appreciate that Vicky Spratt had a bad experience when she started her petition. I understand how people can see a ban on fees and think, oh yep, I'll sign that, great, more money for me, without actually thinking about the consequences. If you do not pay a fee, you will not get a service. What other industry do you just get something for free in? I can't think of one. We have people that buy properties or are going to buy properties and it falls through at the last minute. Do they say to their solicitor, oh, I'm not paying for that legal work? Do they say to their mortgage advisor, I'm not paying that arrangement fee for my mortgage? No, of course they don't. They have to pay for it. It's a service. Why is it that suddenly lettings fees are going to be outright banned? All of the work that we do for tenants, which is just hours and hours and hours of work. I really don't understand how somebody can make this decision without coming and sitting in a letting agent and seeing what we do and how we want to make it fair for the landlord and tenant. We want to work for both parties, because we want it to be fair. I want to deal with my tenants in exactly the same way as I deal with my landlords. I have no loyalty just to my landlord. I have a duty of care to my tenants, and I do work for them. But that's going to change. If they're not paying me, I mean, I probably would still do it, but to be honest, I think I'm in the minority. I think what will happen is either landlords will put their rent up and the tenants will then pay the fee in increments every month in their rent for as long as they live in the property. It's going to be far more than, you know, the £500 that they pay up front now for their references, for their contracts, for the negotiated terms, for someone coming and doing an inventory and checking out that inventory to make sure that their deposit is safe and that nothing is being taken from their deposit. I just think it's ridiculous, and I'm sure that if tenants and landlords think about it, they will also agree with most of the letting agents. I was at the FARLA conference and it was just amazing to be in a room full of regulated agents who understood what this means to the industry. If we cannot have these fees, we cannot have the money to train our staff, and we will go back to working for the landlord and not caring about what the tenant does. So think about this. I don't mind if there's a cap on the fees. I don't mind if we get a regulation on what we should be charging for different things. That's fine by me, and I'm sure by a lot of agents, but I do not believe we should have an outright ban on fees. It will not help the tenant in the long run. So what can you do? Number one, contact your constituency MP and speak to him about it. This is the website, www.writetothem.com. You can find out your details of your MP and you can write a letter. We have a template letter, and I can get that to you if you are not an FARLA member. If you are an FARLA member, it is on the FARLA website. Number two, this one, go on, be brave, be brave. Book a meeting with your MP, go and see them in person, it will have more effect. On here, www.parliament.uk/MPs-Lords-and-offices is where you get the details to book a meeting. Before you go to that meeting, download the briefing paper. Again, it is on FARLA Property Mark website, or ask me, I will have a copy and can give that to you. Please, let's do this. Let's change the mind of the government. Let's make this fair for everybody, but let's not have an outright ban on letting fees, please. Thank you for listening. Take care.